The funeral was small, quiet, exactly how my mother would have wanted it. No grand gestures, no unnecessary guests, just family, a few close friends, and me. The one person who wasn't there was my wife. She had an urgent board meeting that morning. It didn't surprise me. Work had always come first for her. But what I didn't know then was that this funeral wouldn't just be goodbye to my mother. It would be a goodbye to the life I thought I had. 2 days. That's all I asked for. 48 hours to bury the woman who raised me, who sacrificed everything so I could become someone. I had sent the leave request a week in advance. My wife, being the CEO of the company we both worked at, approved it with a casual, of course, take your time. But when I returned to the office, everything had changed. As I stepped into the sleek glass building, the receptionist avoided my eyes. Colleagues whispered, giving me looks that were a blend of pity and discomfort. Something was wrong. Very wrong. I barely had time to sit at my desk before HR called me in. We're terminating your contract, effective immediately, the HR manager said, sliding an envelope across the table. His face was expressionless, as if reading from a script. What? On what grounds? I asked, stunned. Before he could answer, the door opened, and my wife walked in, poised, immaculate, and cold. I'll take it from here, she told the HR manager. He left silently. She sat across from me, legs crossed, voice dripping with rehearsed authority. I need people who prioritize their work, she began, not people who are lazy at work and, frankly, lazy in bed. The words cut deeper than any termination letter could. You approve my leave, I said, my voice low, fighting to stay calm. I changed my mind, she shrugged. This company needs loyalty, not excuses. You've been slipping, professionally and otherwise. That was when I saw him, Daniel, her assistant, younger, eager, always hovering around her. He stood by the glass wall, watching this unfold with a smug grin. The office boy who brought her coffee had somehow replaced me, not just at work, but in her life. It all clicked. The late meetings, the sudden business trips, the coldness at home. She hadn't been building the company. She had been building a new life. Without me. You're doing this to please him? I asked, looking directly at Daniel. A flicker of irritation crossed her face. I'm doing this to fix a liability. You've been dragging us down both in business and in other areas. It wasn't just a firing. It was an execution, a public humiliation. She wanted me to beg, to fight back and look pathetic. But I didn't give her that satisfaction. I stood up, buttoned my coat, and smiled. You'll regret this. Not today, but soon. The walk out of that office felt like walking out a life I no longer recognized. Everything we had built together, or rather, everything I thought we built, had been a lie. But betrayal has a strange way of sharpening your focus. Days turned into weeks. I didn't wallow. I didn't plot revenge. I built, quietly. I took my skills, my contact, and my resilience, and started something from scratch. A consulting firm, lean, agile, and fiercely loyal to those who gave me a chance when I was at my lowest. Word spread quickly. Turns out, I wasn't the only one who had been discarded by her in pursuit of her own ego. Talented people started joining me, people who value respect over power games. Meanwhile, their companies started to slip. Small at first, missed targets, client dissatisfaction, internal leaks. Then came the scandal. Apparently, Daniel wasn't just her office boyfriend. He had been embezzling funds, covering his tracks under her blind trust. It hit the news. Headlines that painted her not as a powerful CEO, but as a reckless leader blinded by personal indulgence. I watched it unfold with a strange mix of sadness and vindication. She had destroyed everything, including herself. One afternoon, months later, she called. I need to talk, she said, her voice no longer cold but cracked. We met at a neutral cafe, far from the high-rises we once called our battlefield. She looked different, tired, not the poised, untouchable executive I had once admired, or thought I admired. You were right, she said, stirring her coffee without looking at me. I let ambition blind me. I let him blind me. I listened, but I didn't offer comfort. Some lessons are meant to be sat with in silence. I lost the board's confidence. I lost everything, she whispered. There was a time when I would have done anything to fix this, to fix her, but that time had passed. I did lose everything, though, she added, eyes finally meeting mine. I still have you. It wasn't an apology. It was desperation. I stood up, placed enough money on the table to cover both our drinks, and looked at her one last time. No, I said calmly. You lost me the day you valued your office boy's attention more than my mother's funeral. Goodbye. Walking out of that cafe was different from walking out of the office months ago. Back then, I had walked away broken. This time, I walked away free. Betrayal doesn't define you. It reveals who truly belongs in your story, and who is just a chapter that needed to end. Today, my firm thrives, not because of revenge, but because of purpose. Because I learned that when people try to bury you, they often forget you're a seed.